Today we're going to take a look at how you can mix electric guitars, which can be tricky. So let's go. So here are some electric guitar parts that have been recorded by my amazing session guitarist. I have treated and mixed them individually, but now I want to treat them as a whole and glue them together. So we're going to highlight all of the electric guitar parts and we're going to go to the stereo out and we're going to send them all to a guitar bus. So now I can treat all of the electric guitar parts as a whole. And that means we can glue everything together and make sure they all sound consistent. First up on the guitar bus is my surgical EQ. So electric guitars give off a lot of super low end that we just don't need in this mix. So I'm going to apply a high pass filter and take it up to around 70-80 Hz to get rid of some of that low end. Now electric guitars can be really difficult to mix because they have frequencies popping out from different strums and different strings, etc. So doing some narrow cuts is quite common with electric guitars. Next, I've loaded up a bus compressor. I'm using the API 2500. Has a nice transparent sound, which is good for electric guitars like this. Quite a high ratio, 6:1, because electric guitars are quite dynamic. And starting with a fairly fast attack, around 10 ms. And a fairly slow release. Again, this depends on really what you're hearing, but I'm going to start around 0.1 seconds. And then I'm going to adjust the threshold until I get about 2 dBs of gain reduction on the VU meter. Just enough to glue these guitars together. And I'm going to apply a second compressor because guitars, as I said, are very dynamic. So here's the 1176. I'm going to start with a ratio maybe of 2:1:4:1. Remember that the attack and release controls are the opposite way round on an 1176. And just around 1 to 2 dBs of gain reduction. The 1176 is quite aggressive sounding, so it's great on things like electric guitars. Next up is some saturation to beef up these guitars and add a lot of weight to the mids. So here's the Waves Magma BB tubes, and we've got 2 different types of distortion, Beauty and the Beast. Not a huge amount of distortion, but just enough to bring out some of those key harmonics. Next, we have some tonal EQ using the Mag EQ4. This airband is brilliant. It's going to add a lot of top end brightness to the guitars. Then I've put some reverb on Ascend, which I'm dialing into the guitar bus. You could use a spring or a plate reverb, but I'm going to use a plate in this instance, cut some of the low end away from that reverb. And then also dial in some stereo delay, which is really nice on electric guitars. And here's the A/B test.